Welcome back. Can I ask you to take your seats, please, so we could start again on time? Give me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Ahmed Bubshait. Dr. Ahmed is a Director of Smart Energy Systems at Ministry of Energy. He has 15 years experience in the energy industry. He's been sort of the chairman of the Society of Petroleum Engineers for a while, or for 1 year, 21-22. He holds a PhD in petroleum engineering from the University of Southern California, master's degree in management, project management, master's degree in petroleum engineering for artificial intelligence. He has experience spanning development, field reservoir management techniques, and to enhance production and sweep efficiencies. So he's another engineer who's sort of turning into AI, although it was his expertise as part of his studies, to tell us a little bit more about the future of AI in energy and AI adaptation in the energy sector. Please, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And today it's my pleasure to be here with you to present one of the opportunities in the energy sector. It will be more specific on the oil and gas. My presentation, first of all, I will start about the energy demand, giving you an overview about the behavior for the next 20 years. Then I will introduce the energy integrated network, and also was presented by my colleagues Yahya Khoja yesterday about what is the energy scheme. After that, we will go more little bit in the AI applications and the benefits in specific to be in this energy integrated network. And we will go a little bit in depth within examples about the opportunity of the AI applications and the segment within this energy integrated network, and where we can find let's say an application that can help to increase the efficiency, optimize the cost, and etc. And finally, we will give an example about how the integrated energy efforts can be combined together to give more, to boost the energy ecosystem. So in general, as you know, that the energy demand is increasing significantly the coming years because of a couple of reasons. One of them is because the population is increasing, as well as we will double the GDP of the global by 2050. So looking to the energy integrated network, as we illustrated here, it started from the subsurface, where the oil and gas, until the end consumer. So the energy demand, it's one of the fundamentals. So as the kingdom, we are producing sometimes 10 million, 9 million barrels of oil, and this is because of the demand in the market. So just going in the energy demand and predicting using AI for this, for the oil price or for the demand, it's a fundamental part to manage our field within the kingdom. Also, if you looked at so once we produce the oil from the reservoir, going to the wells, oil, gas, and water, it go to the gas. So all of these systems is very complex, very complicated, very, let's say, it's not easy to be monitored without a clear infrastructure within these systems. I don't want to go in details for these segments, but here just to show that how it's complicated, the energy integrated network. So one of the challenges that, as I mentioned, it's very diverse and complex system that lack of instantaneous decisions. As you know, sometimes in the refineries or in the gas, you need to decrease the rate. You need to take this as instantaneous with the capability of the human that you cannot take this action. You need to do a lot of calculations. You need to do a lot of approval within your system just to take this decision. As well as you know, that for the last 2 years, a lot of things happening for the security of the systems, or let's say in the oil field, that you need to have higher security in this because it is heavily exposed systems, that the only protection for this physically is mainly the fence, and you need to include or incorporate the AI applications to protect these assets. As well as going forward and enhancing the energy demand for the kingdom, the diversity of your energy resources or sources is becoming more, it is increasing, and to have a different production lines. For example, we will start sequestration CO2 within this field. This is a new production line. You need to mix, for example, the heavy oil with the light oil. This is another thing you might start doing that. There is an innovation solution sometimes that you mix the oil within the reservoir instead of doing a facility in the surface to mix these oil types. So as I mentioned, the opportunity is to where we can forecast the energy demand. Also, we can enhance the efficiency with lower cost and optimize our operation. And also, as I mentioned, proposing different production lines. Sometimes you're going to go with renewable energy instead of going with the conventional power generation. And finally, we can have more reliable operation by capitalizing on the AI applications. So one of the things that we are focusing within the ministry as a fundamental, it's the safety and security. So we need to protect our critical asset. This is one of the advantages of using AI. Also, maintaining a safe operation, which is one of the main things that we have to do, the operator over there. It is very important for us to be, and introducing the computer vision within, the PPE, the personal protection equipment. This is one of the great solutions that can avoid and reduce the number of incidents. Also monitoring the quality and quantity of our petroleum products. As you know, that 2 million barrels of petroleum product is moving around the kingdom, and this is one of our role to keep the quality and the quantity of these products safe and secured, and to reach the end consumer. Also, one of the great things that we need to focus, this is what related to the operation, mainly it's sustainability and efficiency. To have sustainable production of either oil, gas, or even electricity, as well as to have the most efficient. That means when I produce that with, let's say, with reserving the energy within the subsurface or within the power, as well as to reach to the consumer at the highest efficiency, as well as with a lower cost. Now I will be moving mainly to show you an example from the, let's say, from the start to the end for the oil production cycle. And here just to show you that still the oil industry in specific, it's not to the level of expectation compared to other energy sectors. And to be honestly, there is a lot of optimization in terms of cost, because I know sometimes not the only the cost is the driven to find a solution. You're looking for efficiency, but frankly speaking, these days is the cost is somehow giving you more room to advance your technologies. So looking in the oil and gas industry, just to give you a brief about the cost, sometimes onshore rigs that drill wells cost per day cost around $70,000, and you go to the offshore $200,000. The cost of, let's say, of well drill in the offshore maybe it reached $15 million. So don't quote me on these numbers, but I'm saying that it is very, very expensive operation. Just to when you start optimizing these systems and processes, you will find a lot of reduced cost with better operation. So here, just to show you that very quickly about, we're starting with rig movement. Then once we get in the location, we start doing drilling. Then we do cementing. After that, I'm giving you an example of fracking. I know environmental people, they don't like this operation, but just to show you how we can optimize. Then we will go to the wind completion, and finally to the piping and to distribute the oil. One of the main, let's say, opportunities that we can apply in the oil and gas is mainly the rig movement. The rig, for example, we have almost 3,000 in the world, maybe 2,000 rig is operating as we speak. If you go in specific for the kingdom, you can reach a lot of numbers. However, the rig movement, as I mentioned, in the offshore costs $200,000. When it starts moving to another location, it's already paid for this operation. So imagine that if you can optimize the movement of these rigs, you can. I don't want to also giving you a number for that I cannot give you a reference. But anyhow, there is a huge opportunity. You can see this is an example to see how the scheduling. All of this data is. I'm just giving you an example. Number of rigs, well type. Either you're going to drill vertical or horizontal wells. Type of operation, the well location, rig specification. Sometimes the rig needs to move 5 kilometers in the offshore just to reach the location. So by having rig movement, you can optimize this data using AI and giving you what is the optimum movement for specific rigs. The well location, that means where should I start? Which well should I start with? Even for the movement, that's enough. The field rate. Sometimes when you do operation in any location, you need to shut down the entire. Let me explain for you, for example, the platform in the offshore. It contains sometimes 10 wells. 10 wells produce 3,000, 30,000. I need to shut it down the 30,000 for example, 2 months just to do my operation. So by optimizing these numbers, there is a huge opportunity in this area. Another example here, also the offshore cutting disposal. While we are drilling, you know that cutting is coming to the surface, and we need to dispose this cutting and the fluid. By handling this, disposing this cutting, by knowing the timing and allocating the disposal volume that we need during the operation, and also optimizing the flow back, because after you complete your drilling, you need to do flow back just to clean the well. How much you need to do flow back. If you imagine that flow back is one of the fundamental operation after completing the drilling, just to make sure that the well producer can give you oil. This is as simple as what I'm saying. And the flow back, the limitation is within this barge that cannot handle somehow 100 barrel per day. So they need to move on, remove from the rig just to dispose the oil and the cutting and come back again. Imagine how much this operation distance in the offshore between the well and the platform and the onshore. The cementing, if you watch the movie, that one of the problem happened for British oil, it's because of the cementing. They did not have an excellent cementing testing during the operation. The logging, what we call it CBL, the cementing bond log, it's a log that we run it inside the well just to make sure that the cementing job has been properly completed and achieved. By understanding here this formation and how much cement and the type of the cement, the liquid, the water, all of these materials that make the cement to be at the highest quality, this can be also adding to the AI. This is where the factor of safety and security can be added as well in this operation. Just to show you here an example about if we now, assuming that we start drilling, we're going to drill an horizontal well, water and injector. We are injecting water in this location and we are producing oil in that. Getting this shape of let's say sweep the water or the water movement, it's only related to the formation properties, that the fracture distribution. And this is very also a principle that I need to explain for the carbonate formation, just to be clear that this fracture, it's a natural fracture. You don't have any intervention in that. However, the hydraulic fracturing, where we will start to frac the formation, this is something else. It's not related to the formation as well. However, understanding the fracture propagation, Now we are using physics, and to understand what is the stress in the reservoir, what is the pressure distribution. All of this is a part of our decision to understand the fracture propagation. These days, there is no model that can precisely giving you the location of this fracture. Moving for unconventional reservoirs, moving for more tight reservoirs, as you know that now we are going to the more complex and more heterogeneous reservoirs, and we have to apply more hydraulic fracturing. And this cannot be predicted only using the fracture modeling, but adding an AI part in these applications and modeling, it will be great. Knowing the injected volume, for example, to select the best fracture length. Sometimes you cannot go for 200 meter or 300 meter because it will hit another location on another horizontal area that you don't want to reach. So having different family here fracture, as you know, modeling these fractures, it will give you different sweep, and this sweep will impact your recovery in the future. That you will invest more wells to go to the locations that you cannot produce. But here, just to show you how the fracture distribution will give you different shape of the water movement. And this also reflected by how much water I'm injecting. So this complex system, if you just try to utilizing the simulation model, the well length, the fraction fluid, the well design, the formation properties, can give you exactly what is the fracture distribution that you have the optimum and to maintain yourself within your target in terms of production. Here, what I'm showing here is a horizontal well. Drill, let's say, for example, Sandstone Reservoir, regardless. And mainly you are casing the horizontal well with a tool we call it ICD, inflow control device. This ICD contains nozzles or open holes that you design it. You design the size, the frequency, how many completion design you want to have, and your ultimate is to have the efficient fluid movement. Here you have the gas production, the red area, the green is oil, and the blue is water. And mainly you want to have the most efficient sweep within this area. The cost of one ICD around $15,000. The length of the ICD is around 38 feet. Usually we install about 60 to 70. How many wells we are drilling? I cannot declare the number, but anyhow, you have a lot of wells. So just to optimize this number of ICDs, using what we are currently using, it's a net tool by Schlumberger. You design your ICD by using this completion. It's a single time step. You cannot take it in a multiple time step to see that if I change the ICD completion, how will be. I'm gonna simulate what will happen in the future. I'm gonna have this shape or that shape. So if you just add the well length simulation model, also the fluid contact, the nozzle size, and the well rate that you design your well, you can reach to the optimum ICD completion. Here I'm just trying to show you an opportunity. This data is available, but have we ever just touched in this thing with an AI? In the future, AI can design for you which is the optimum well, the length of that well, the completion design. Where should I be closer to the gas or be closer to the water? All of these decisions should be coming from AI applications. So after we produce the well, we're going to distribute through pipe. So this is an innovation solution more than something utilizing AI. However, but to show you the combination of energy, not only in the oil and gas, but oil, solar, and any opportunities with the great IoT. So the pipeline, as you know, that we are distributing gas, oil, and now it's coming CO2, and sometimes they are very corrosive, very corrosive fluids. So having a drone with a computer vision And knowing the location that has a potential of leakage, so we're going to detect the leakage, it will prevent. And also we can optimize the operation maintenance, scraping on all of these operations that's required to clean this pipe. And utilizing the solar that will be charging these drones to operate in real time and to be instantaneous decisions. It's a great opportunity within the energy ecosystem. So in summary, this is just an example showing you from rig where is the opportunity, and a huge. If I go in more details and more in depth in this specific segment, you will see also great opportunities. This is truly that not only efficiency, but you can integrate the effort with the other sectors. You can know exactly where's our production, where our focus. Also, you can make it more efficient. You can predict any maintenance. You can the forecast as well, and also the engineers, as mentioned with my colleagues, Dr. Asil, that will open other opportunities. For example, as she mentioned, the automation rig supervisor. This is also they can handle the rig operation with the AI applications. These days, the engineer who's doing somehow the AI applications is a petroleum engineer or a chemical engineer or mechanical engineer. I know they have the expertise about the AI, but when you combine, for example, a computer engineer with a petroleum engineer with the same place, they work together, they can optimize the process. As well as if you can skill these petroleum engineers with more application of AI, you can also apply these great opportunities. So as I mentioned here, I just gave you an example about an oil and gas. If you go to the petrochem, you can have more. We have also the carbon applications. The hydrogen is coming soon, renewable and electricity. If we combine these together with one AI application or one platform that can decide in our future energy what will happen, this will be something great, and it will be combined effort from all sectors. As in the ministry here, we can see all of these applications. Because of that, we can see the horizon of the future about how can we combine the oil and gas, the petchem, the carbon, the hydrogen, and the renewable within one platform with the greater opportunities, and not to work silos between like oil and gas alone and carbon alone. No, it's a combine just to hit, for example, our target and to be the leader of AI applications in the energy sector globally. Just to end off my presentation with the KAUST president, so you cannot buy AI from the shelf. You need to develop a pipeline, talent, otherwise you will never be able to innovate. This is a marathon. You need to have patience and the belief to do it. Thank you.
Thank you for this comprehensive overview of what AI can do in energy from the ministry's perspective. The floor is open for questions. Please put your hands up, identify yourself, and ask your question. There's one there.
Thank you for your talk. You talked about the opportunities of using AI in oil and gas. Some of the problems that you talked about, like scheduling and allocation and so on, there are well-known optimization methods that do not rely on AI but are well-known and tested. So do you also consider those methods, especially if those can be even more effective than using AI? And the second question is, you talked about some very specific examples to oil and service companies, but I was wondering why are those problems not considered in the companies themselves rather than the ministry?
So can you repeat the second question?
The second question?
Yeah.
So you talked about specific problems to oil companies and service companies, like the drill length and so on and so forth. but those are specific to specific companies, for example. So why is the ministry is also interested in targeting those specific problems?
Okay, frankly speaking, we are not interfering with the operation, let's say, opportunities for the, but here what we are showing, trying to raise the concern, there is a huge opportunities for the operating company. For example, Saudi Aramco or Sabic, whatever these companies, there is a huge potential that you can apply AI. So this is just to answer the first question. We are just showing there is an opportunity, and sometimes we are trying to do by ourselves a POC with a small scale. This is the opportunity. You have to do it. Just to spotlight in some segment within this operation that there is a huge opportunity. It is great to apply AI applications. But in the ministry by ourselves, we're gonna do it. This is something impossible. It's because it's not under our expertise. For the first question, just to remind with the first question.
The alternative approaches to AI that are well known to
scheduling?
Solving the optimization
So
problems.
they are using scheduling statistical approach, let's say, just to normalize the data and see where is the opportunity to apply. But what I'm saying here, this is an opportunity for the oil and gas to start adopting AI applications because they have the data and they have the expertise now. They are growing very fast, boosting other sectors. It's an opportunity for them just to even test the AI application. Is it doable? Is it adding value or not? Thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions? Yes. That's right there. It's coming.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed, for the excellent presentation. My name is Mohammed Al-Amin from Maifat University. My question about the coupling between the numerical simulation, which is essential in the oil reservoir, and its coupling with AI. So, as you know, there are a lot of uncertainties in the numerical modeling of oil reservoirs, many. So, and when we solve this numerical model, we rely on having such kind of empirical model from experiments. So I guess this will be replaced or can be replaced by AI data. In academia, we usually suffer from having real data, which is owned by oil companies, maybe by a government like the Ministry of Energy, but we don't have it in academia or as a research group. For example, we did already some coupling of numerical modeling with AI, but we just create artificial data to work on such kind of problem. So how can, as a researcher in academia, obtain such kind of what I believe a lot of data can really improve the future of modeling and simulation in oil reservoir?
First of all, thank you for your question. This is really great question. As you mentioned that the simulation model is a finite volume method. So what we are trying to build, as you know that, for example, the reservoir SPE, you have SPE1, SPE until SPE10, they have reservoir that artificial reservoirs. Yes. But let's say from the ministry perspective, we are trying now to work in a sandbox where we're providing data for education. And this is really very important. We see it that if we provide the academia with the great research, with the great data, that they can build their understanding and our understanding, this will be something changing. So the effort we see it is not only in the operational side, it's a combination of the people from the universities, the people from the operation with the government, working together just to achieve our dream to be in the top 10 in the 2030. And for the second part of the question, yes, I know that the simulation model mainly remaining on kriging and co-kriging just to distribute their properties. And there is an opportunity, what I'm saying, that this data, when you start to distributing with high uncertainty, because between wells you don't know the formation. the subsurface. This will also adding, let's say, another property that can be combined with the physics to have better prediction of your formation or of your fluid distribution. Thank you.
All right, please join me in thanking Dr. Ahmed again.